Wouldn't life be great if you could paint like that?
Would it?
Yeah, I mean, I know they say it's hard to be a genius, but I reckon it must give your life some kind of sense of purpose.
You'd never have a normal life, though.
Yeah, but who wants a normal life?
I do.
No, you don't.
Maybe. I don't know. Don't know what I want.
Yeah, that's all right.
Is it? I mean, you already know what you want to do, Joanna. You already know what you're gonna do your dissertation on. You're all set.
Yeah, but that is not normal and shouldn't be copied. I think most people don't have any idea what they want or what they want to do with their lives.
You're just being nice to me.
No, I reckon half your friends from school probably have no idea what they want to do.
I didn't really have any friends in school as such. I was a loner.
Really?
Mm.
I actually relate a lot to Marianne in a sense where her friends in college have a very clear idea of who she is, and every time she shares an experience or an aspect of herself in her life that doesn't match with their perception of her, they feel very confused. And I think that is something that a lot of autistic people tend to experience, a lot of neurodivergent people tend to experience, especially when I feel like you have a very strong sense of self, right? Like people tend to think if you come off as self-assured, if you tend to come off as confident even or talented in some aspects, or you have certain things that they look up to or envy or admire, they think that that automatically means you never struggle, you never question yourself, you never struggle with depression, you've had an easy life, that means you've always had a lot of friends. Like I find that throughout my life, people have always had these assumptions, and I was always so confused when I see that their perception of me isn't matching who I actually am, and information about me is confusing them more rather than they're like, okay, that let me put that into my picture of you so far, and you make even more sense now that you shared that. Like people don't usually have that reaction. They're just like, oh, that's unexpected. I didn't think you would have no friends. I didn't think you would be a loner. I didn't think this. I wouldn't think that. And I don't know. I never like seeing that reaction because it makes me think, do these people actually see me? And what are they seeing even if they're that surprised? You know what I'm saying? And I find that a lot of neurotypical people like surprising others. Like they think it's some sort of badge of honor that it's like, ooh, I could surprise you. And it's because they ultimately fit in 24/7 anyways. But when you're already someone who's like existing on the brink of groups of people or others, and you always feel like an outsider, you always inherently feel a little bit different, a little bit other. When people therefore react in that way where they're like, oh, I didn't expect that. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't boost your confidence. If anything, it reminds you again of why you feel so on the outskirts of everyone. Even if you're a part of a group, even if you're accepted, you still somewhat feel like you're on your own in a way, like you're not fully seen. And I really relate to Marianne in that way.
Oh. What about that guy from the other night?
Connell. He wasn't like a friend, exactly.
It's disclaimed there's no such thing as the truth. I just find that very destructive.
I'm sorry, I don't think that's a fair reading.
Something is either a fact or it's not. It's either true or it's not. How would you put that aside?
I don't. But understanding how we decide which facts are disseminated, how we assess different claims...
So basically, gravity is a social
Sorry,
construct.
excuse me, but Marianne was still speaking. Carry on, Marianne.
This isn't about negating the existence of fact. Like, obviously, gravity is real. But it's still valuable for historians to study the development of discourses around gravity, so we can learn how knowledge is produced and by whom and within what structures. That's all.
So he's bullshitting about how gravity isn't even real, and Marianne absolutely annihilated him. It's like a cat playing with food.
I bet it was.
I mean, no. It wasn't. The tutor had to step in so I could make my not very groundbreaking point. There was zero annihilation.
See, everyone hyping you up like that and like putting you on a pedestal also doesn't feel good. It dehumanizes you. It's almost like they only see the power in you because it makes them feel powerful because they're in proximity to you, but they're at the same time unwilling to see the humanity behind you. The moments where you might be weak, the moments where you might be insecure or less than in any sort of capacity. Like, they don't want to see that. They don't want to interact with that part of you. They just want to see that you're this person that completely emasculated this guy in class, and then the boyfriend just wants to see that he's dating someone that's able to emasculate other men. But like, outside of 𝗪𝐼ann's accomplishments in her brain, do they still value her on like a soul human level? Do they see the other parts of her, like the moments where she's suffering and struggling? And that's something that 𝗪𝐼ann is experiencing for the first time. Like, she came from a place where no one valued her, no one saw the good in her. And now she's surrounded by people who only see the value and good in her. But then she's faced with the question of, well, would they still love me? Would they still value me if they saw other parts of myself that they wouldn't want to brag about?
You emasculated him, 𝗪𝐼ann. He's gonna be your enemy for life.
That's not what happened.
She'll have the white.
Can she not decide for herself?
I don't know, can she?
Yeah, she definitely can.
White, please.
It's this fucking game they play.
I hate making decisions.
And I'm good at knowing what she wants. And what she wants is a glass of white. And when she's finished, she's gonna have another glass of white. And then she's gonna have a cigarette.
Maybe.
Anyway, that guy sounds like an idiot.
He is.
He's not an idiot.
Well, I'm constantly amazed at how many people in college just aren't that smart.
Come on, mate.
No, I'm serious.
I mean, I think that might just be your experience on your course, because it's certainly not my experience.
Yeah, because you're two in English, and it's not that hard to waft an opinion out of your arse about a book.
Nice.
Oh, all right, let's leave it.
I'm just gonna go check on
No, we can, but we can talk about it. Why can't we talk about it? All I'm
She feels almost like invisible to her friends.
Sure you don't want some?
I'm alright, thanks.
I won't tell Joanna.
I'm still alright.
I'm gonna go meet Christian, the one with the girlfriend.
What are you gonna do when you're the sensible girlfriend and your boyfriend's off fucking and taking drugs with students?
When am I gonna be the sensible girlfriend?
That's a fair point, Peggy.
Sure you don't want to come?
I'm gonna stay. I'm exhausted.
Okay. Thanks so much again. I'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.
I'll stay with you. Help you clear up.
No, honestly, it's fine. You go.
Right, come on. Pubs are closing.
So what she gets from Gareth that she doesn't get from Connell is he's willing to take ownership of her in a very public way. Like, their social circles, their external life matches together and goes well together. They're that couple that everyone looks to and they're like, ooh, power couple. And everyone looks up to them and stuff like that. And so I think 𝗪𝐼ann likes being a trophy in a way, or like his counterpart in a way. But because Gareth is so focused on everything and everyone else in his social life, not in like in a way where he ignores 𝗪𝐼ann. Obviously he adores her, he loves her so much and he cherishes her. He's so nice and attentive, but it's like a surface level attentiveness where it's like he could do this with literally anyone, because it's about just like keeping things courteous and good and pretty on the outside, but on the inside there's not much going on with their dynamic. It's not challenging each other, it's not pushing each other to grow, it's not vulnerable, right? And that's why little things like 𝗪𝐼ann prefers white wine, Gareth doesn't notice things like that, because it's like, why does those little details make sense? It doesn't. Like, what makes sense and what matters is that we're together in every friend event. I'm supportive. I stay with you when you are by yourself. We study together. We're doing these things. That's what matters. Those little details don't matter. But with this other guy, which I think his name's Jamie, Marianne's going to end up dating him later on, he's a lot more assertive. And I think those little things that assertive, dominant people tend to have is what Marianne thinks Gareth lacks. Like, there's a part of Marianne that likes the intensity of a dominant person, someone that pays attention to those little details and knows what you want and knows what you're going to say and knows what you're going to do, even in moments where you don't even know. Like, they study you that much. And in that sense, Jamie is similar to Connell in how much they observe each other. But the difference between Jamie and Connell is that Connell doesn't feel the need to have possession over Marianne, to control Marianne. He lets Marianne exist in her own authority because he sees Marianne as a very powerful person. He wants her to be able to take ownership of that power, whereas Jamie wants to possess Marianne, yes, but a part of that possession is allowing Marianne to surrender to him. She wants to feel admired without being put on a pedestal. She wants to be challenged without being devalued. She wants someone to respect her authority. But at the same time, the inverse to that is she really, really craves someone to allow her to surrender. And that's something she's never been able to really experience, is trusting someone enough to surrender fully to them and to not have to be so strong all the time, right? Everyone sees her as this strong woman. Everyone. Even people at home that look down on her for being a strong woman, they still see her as a strong woman. People at school see her as a strong woman and they admire her for it. But she wants a safe space to just not have to be so strong all the time, not have to be so on it all the time. And little things like Jamie saying she'll have the white wine, it is a way for her to not have to make decisions, as she says. When she says she hates having to make decisions, what she's saying is, I have had to learn how to do it, not because I want to, but because that's what life has done to me. And so therefore I crave a space where I don't have to make decisions all the time. I could trust someone to make a decision for me. I want to be able to trust someone who knows me enough to make a decision for me that they know I would want, so that I don't have to think about what I want and make that decision for myself. And I think that's what makes Connell different from Jamie and what Marianne wishes Connell had, because he loves her. He's attentive. He's observant more than Jamie is, but he's not ever going to do something to Marianne or for Marianne that she doesn't want, because he respects what she wants. And he never wants to like violate boundaries or violate her autonomy the way that Jamie feels very comfortable doing and wants to do. He wants to violate her boundaries. He wants to melt all those boundaries away so that there's no more boundaries, so that they become one and she surrenders herself completely to him.
See you later. See ya. Bye, Marianne.
Jamie wanted to have the last goodbye. I'm not a big fan of Jamie, if you haven't noticed through my consistent eye rolls at him. Every moment that used to feel good to her now feels empty, because she's always weighing how her connections feel with everyone compared to how her connection feels with Connell. And she realizes that none of these connections fulfill her the way that her connection with Connell fulfills her. And she can't get that out of her mind. And this goes to show Marianne processes in real time. It only took her a day to realize what she realized. Enjoyed today's video? Then consider becoming a YouTube member or joining the Patreon to gain access to all of my full commentary videos. See ya there.